5 millimeters across, or 3 inches if you're in old money, and on a rich diet of rats and mice and lizards and bugs and beetles,
Ernie the
young
Owl.
Ernie has grown to this enormous bird in a very short space of time indeed. And I suppose a bit like all youngsters, he thinks the world is wonderful. And of course, well, it is when you're young. And I don't know whether I should tell you this, children, because you all look wonderfully happy, and obviously your mums and dads are thinking great things for you, bringing you to Warwick Castle. And at this stage of your life, it is quite enjoyable, but there are some troublesome times ahead, children. And just to let you understand how the world works, young Ernie is about 6 months of age, and he's sort of like a teenager. And when you get to about 12 or 13 years of age, you're going to find something really difficult happening. Your mums and dads are actually going to turn against you. Now, I don't want you to worry unduly about that process. It is quite normal. But in Ernie's world, this happens an awful lot quicker. At about 6 months of age, his ma and pa are absolutely fed up to the back teeth of young Ernie, sitting in the nest, mobile phone ringing all the time, slamming doors, and they want him to leave home. And of course, the first time they suggest leaving home, I'm quite sure that young Ernie just sat there in the nest, rubbed his belly up and down a few times and said, no thanks, I'll stick with the delivery service. So what happens, his mum and his dad stops feeding him for a couple of days, and then Ernie gets the idea that if he follows his mum and dad around, then he's going to get some breakfast, dinner and tea. And this, in essence, is what's happening here. Ernie is not my best pal. It doesn't matter how many times I tell him I love him, he's not going to be interested in flying onto my arm for love alone. And I can demonstrate that very easily by saying, look Ernie, I love you. I'll be your best pal forever and ever and ever. Swap you all my best football cards. Not working, is it? But if I had the secret ingredients, which is a bit of breakfast, dinner and tea, then we get an immediate response. Now what I'm going to do with Ernie is put him on some posts around the edge of the arena. And although it does seem like a wonderful opportunity for you to poke and stroke Ernie, I want you to resist that temptation. This is actually all about Ernie, and this is really just getting Ernie to understand that, of course, you're not all about to run up to the rope, rugby tackle him to the floor and eat him, because, to be honest, that's sort of how his mind works. And if you're a predator like Ernie, the simple rules are this. If it's smaller than you, it's breakfast, dinner and tea. And if it's larger than you, then you stay away from it until such time you understand it's safe. So that's what Ernie's doing. And getting him up close and personal is really just a bit of a confidence booster for Ernie. Because, of course, that's a fairly gory photograph, I have to say, Ernie. He's standing there with 2 chicken legs sticking out the side of his mouth going like, come on, film me, I want to be on YouTube.
Nah, you're on YouTube.
I'm a bit interested in media events, Ernie, and of course, until you've eaten that one, we can't really proceed, and we all don't want to be out here for hours and hours and hours. Now, you might be looking at Ernie and thinking to yourself, he's a beautiful bird. He really is a stunning creature. He's not the biggest owl in the world. That title goes to a European eagle owl. Ernie is the largest owl in Africa, though, and his mum and his dad originally came from Kenya. Ernie was born in a very exciting place called Wolverhampton. So he's never been totally, truly wild, but of course he does have wild feelings, and it's my job to try and get over all of those and present him here in a show. And of course, most of you know that his normal day job is to do absolutely nothing, really, to be honest. His day job is to pretend to be a tree or a rock for the day, and he is pretty good at that. And wherever we let him go at the castle, we can generally be sure that he's going to fly into this tree. This is, in fact, his favourite tree in the whole place here. Really, I want to do the exciting bit where we pounce on something, but we need a bit of action. I know it's raining. Yeah, I know. And I know that you're from Africa and you're not really equipped with a waterproof jacket like I am. Not. But we want to do something a bit more exciting, Ernie. I want to see if we can show everybody how you go about the very exciting task of hunting. So, first of all, I want you to go up into that tree over there. That's your favourite tree over there. There are some people directly underneath you, Ernie, so be careful about going to the toilet. There's people going like that. What's he talking about? Now, at night time, Ernie would normally ladder his way up onto an exposed limb of a tree, overlooking a watering hole, a rough patch of ground, and then he's going to pounce on something. And I have to tell you, this bit is fairly exciting for Ernie, because of course he's going to catch his tea, but he's not really that good at this at the moment.